What's going on, everybody? It's Spidey here, back for my weekly comic book review show that I do every week. So I got, I think, around 6 books. Yeah, 6 comic books here. I'm going to be reviewing those. So we'll start it off, as I always do, with the worst comic book to the greatest comic book of the week. And my worst comic book was Batman Detective Comics issue 11. And this wasn't that good this week. With Detective Comics, it's either hit or miss. It's never really hit out of the ballpark. Actually, the first issue I really did like, but that was probably the best one. That was probably the only hit out of the ballpark. But this didn't do it for me. This was very crappy, very boring. The artwork's good, and it did have some enjoyable parts in it. But overall, just not a really good book. I don't like this villain. I don't know if he's new or old or whatever, but I'm not a fan of him. They could have somebody else in there, somebody cooler, someone older maybe. But I can see why they're trying to put newer villains in here. So I have to give this a 2.5 out of 5. And I just knocked my stand over. So we got Avengers vs. X-Men, round 7. This book was alright for me. I mean, it was good. It was a solid read, and I enjoyed it. It's written by Matt Fraction. Yeah, Matt. The script is by Matt Fraction, and the pencils are by Oliver Copel. But his artwork is actually pretty good. Actually, I like it more than Romita's. Like, you can see, like, you know, it's pretty good. It's not bad. However, I do like how the Phoenix has taken over some of the X-Men, and the X-Men are trying to save the world, but they're trying to destroy the Avengers. I do like that. I like that. It's a good read. It's a good comic book, but it's just not what it should be like. Avengers vs. X-Men as an event comic book from Marvel, it should be like the best comic book that's out currently, even though it doesn't really count because it's an event. But it should be the comic book that I get excited every time it's released to read it, but I'm not. But it was alright. It was a good read. I did enjoy it. I have to give it a 3.5 out of 5. But I am getting excited too for what's coming up. I feel it's headed towards something big, hopefully. We got Action Comics issue 11. Action Comics issue 11. Action Comics, I think, is the series that is bringing Superman back to modern times, because Superman has always been done as, you know, they've been people like in the Superman issue 1 and the first story arc. I thought that was so boring. I think what they were trying to do is make it so that he's in this, like, they were always writing him as from like the 70s and all that, when he's not. If they were to bring Superman in here, into this universe, get him out of Metropolis, get him into some wider space thing, they could make Superman really awesome, and I think they're doing a really good job in Action Comics. Action Comics has had a couple bad arcs here and there, but it's been a solid comic book title, and the first arc was really good. First arc made him really cool, really relatable. This one is even making him, I'm gonna say, a bit more relatable. I love what they're doing here. Superman has basically killed his alter ego. Superman has killed Clark Kent, and he is now living his life as Superman, and he's living a bunch of different other identities. He's living also as, like, he's a doctor, he's a firefighter, and I love that. He's trying to help out, but he's not really, you know, Clark Kent. He's still Superman, but he's just not, you know. It's awesome, and it gives a reason why he killed his alter ego in this comic book, and it's an awesome read. I have to give this also a 3.5 out of 5. Earth 2 issue 3 has to be the best DC title. Earth 2 is probably one of my favorite DC titles. I love Earth 2, and in this issue, we were introduced to the Green Lantern. They did change his origin up a bit, and his costume they changed up. However, I loved this issue. I love Jay Garrick. Jay Garrick's costume. Okay, I just want to talk about Jay Garrick for a second, even though this issue is about Green Lantern. Jay Garrick's costume, they changed it, and it's better. It is so much cooler, and I love Jay Garrick's costume. The Green Lantern's costume, it would have been better if they would have gave him a cape, but that's not a big deal. Earth 2, was very good. The artwork by Nicholas Scott. Nicholas Scott is now one of my favorite artists. I love his artwork in this comic book. It's beautiful. And also, spoilers. Yeah, I'm gonna give a couple spoilers away in this review. But at the end of the comic book, we are introduced to a character, Solomon Grundy. He's an older character. I love the character. I remember facing him in Batman Arkham City. I remember him in some comic books. He's awesome. This was a really good issue. I have to give this a 4 out of 5. The Invincible Iron Man 520 was great. I love this issue. Now it's a very good issue. It's all about like Tony Stark. He got drunk because he thought it was his last day on Earth. You can read it all here. And the Mandarin and just hammered. You know, they manipulated the government, saying that he's not a good to be Iron Man. So they shut Stark Industries down. And they faked Rhodey's death and made him the new Iron Man. And now there's a bunch of assassins after Tony and all that. And it's a fantastic issue. It's awesome read. Mandarin has actually taken over Tony's brain, which is very cool. It's a very good issue, and I highly recommend Invincible Iron Man. It's always been good. It's a really good comic book. I have to give this a 4 to 5 as well. Now for the comic book of the week. Amazing Spider-Man 689. This is the second part to the No Turning Back story. And instead of saying the world's greatest superhero, the Amazing Spider-Man, it says it's no turning back for the Lizard and the Amazing Spider-Man, which is awesome. I love this issue, and I really do love what they've did with the Lizard. It's something that has not been done before. It's where they've turned Lizard back to Dr. Kirk Connors, but Kirk Connors is not Kirk Connors. He's just the Lizard in a human body, which is awesome. And I love what he did with Morbius and how he's made him, you know, eat some crave blood, however, and then seeing Spider-Man get all mad and chasing after Morbius, it was awesome. And he's getting all raging. He's yelling at you at what the hell's that kid's name? Let's see. I don't know. I forget what his name is, but it's the kid who kills vampires. Anyways, I love seeing that, and what else happened in this issue that was cool? I forget what I was just about to talk about. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about this issue. So I have to give this a 4.5. Let me know what you guys thought about the comics this week. Leave it in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel. I do toy reviews, ACBA, movie reviews. So yeah, tell me what you guys thought of this week in comic books. And this is Spidey Fan Reviews, and I am out.